Board games, board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And over here, I am with there, the person that I called a Netherlander. It is DutchYoda to read out loud, the title of which hopefully they are proud. DutchYoda is a reviewer, and it is Yoda is trying to be a designer. Well, Yoda's now a designer officially, according to the website known as BGG. You've got a designer page, hooray! That happened. It feels like yesterday. It was 2 weeks ago, really. It doesn't feel like yesterday. That's kind of a lie. I just said that because of the song. But we're talking about board games and mentorship is what we're talking about. Board games and mentorship. I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. It is pretty much 10 a.m. UK time, and this is episode 367, BEZZY Beats and Board Game BLETHER. And today, as we've done every fortnight on the Saturday, I am trying to help Yoda make lovely games, offering some guidance as best I can. We're going to have a wee bit of a mentorship type thing. And previously we talked about the game known as Party Planner that you're trying to get onto the Kickstarter just to catch people up. We talked about that. You were trying to put together a Kickstarter page, but you're not ready to discuss that or even, right now.
No, it's not ready yet.
And so, let's have a wee catch up. I guess let's have this game, it's honestly not changed much mechanically, has it? Party Planner.
I think even not at all. But
there was a different shape of grid. And so the fundamental rules haven't changed, but you've made the map layout different. And so you have evolved that a bit.
Yeah, that's true. And I had...
and the tracker. You changed a few things of the rewards. And even if this is interesting, it's kind of even if the rules of the game stay exactly the same, it doesn't mean that the game is exactly the same, because you've got, the way you progress, the topography of the map, the actual bonuses that you get, that means a lot.
Yeah, true. And also, before the Kickstarter, I already worked on some ideas for new maps, which will have a little bit of new elements, like we discussed at the end of the previous stream, like having one-way routes that you can only cross on a certain way from a certain point, and that sort of things. And themes, I want every map to have a slightly different theme. So the first one was Lake City, because the lakes divided the locations. I'm thinking about having a graveyard type where the zombies are having a party. And something on the beach. So I'm having all these themes, and I'm gonna try to figure out which mechanism will fit with which theme. But that's after I'm done with the Kickstarter page, because those will be stretch goals.
Yeah, one-way streets definitely sounds interesting. I don't remember you mentioning that last time. I'm just trying to ponder. Did I? Okay.
Yeah, it was your idea.
Cool. But I'm kind of now trying to think of the ramifications of that, because it might be, obviously there's going to be a bit of map design and how will that affect the things that work? Can that actually make it an interesting map? I don't know. It will be a challenge, but hopefully you will be excited to try out a few things and ponder this yourself.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with the one-way street is that you can go, for example, you have 2 lanes and then you have a one-way street across, and this will give you more options to store, or maybe give you more bonuses, earlier bonuses, if you visit the venue. So that's a little bit more attractive to go to, but you cannot spread out because everything's pointing inwards instead of outwards. So if you want the other ones, you have to go along the outside. So you have to make choices on what to do. But I'm still thinking about how to balance that and make it work properly. But that's when I'm done with the Kickstarter page, that's one of the first maps I'm going to do.
Oh, that's... Yeah, it could be like there's a long path and you don't get any rewards for a while, and so you have to fill in all of these circles, but then at the end you get some big rewards. So to go for that one, which there might be one branch which is almost high risk because you're unlikely to actually finish it, but that's the one for people who like to have the big risk and the big payoff potentially.
Yeah, true.
So let's talk about, as we always do, a wee bit about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. So before the show started recording, we were talking about how we were both up quite late last night.
Yeah.
I was playing some games of Keyforge. We've just kept playing with the same 2 decks, and then we played with the same 2 decks, with me playing with the stronger deck. What it turned out was definitely the stronger deck. I don't know if you're familiar with Keyforge. So you've got Sauron,
I have it,
and one of the decks is Sauron, where you're making your things exalted, so you're putting extra ember on it, and then with this ember you're on one of the dinosaurs, you're able to use it, and there's one card in the deck where any creature that doesn't have ember on it is destroyed. And so it works really well with the dinosaurs. And there's also some shadow things that put ember on themselves, which is perfect and captures the ember. And there's a lot of stealing going on with one deck, and then there's a tiny bit of some untamed, but that's not as strong in this deck. But then the other deck, it's all fighty, big creatures, and there's some shadow, but the shadow doesn't really steal much. I think there's really like one card in the deck that does any stealing at all. And so it feels like the fighty deck, because of the way that the game isn't quite as strong. And we played 4 games. For the final game, we swapped it around, and every single game, the Sauron deck won. Yeah.
Easily, or was it still a little bit close?
I think there might have been one game in which Layla managed to forge 2 keys with the other deck. One game was 0. 2 games there were 1 key forged.
Ooh. Okay.
So thankfully I've got 4 other decks that I bought secondhand for a cheap price. I don't know whether that means... I assume that just means they're less powerful. I don't imagine that means they're necessarily less fun. I think it was just someone who had, I've got like 12 decks, I need to start selling some of these kinds of things. And because you know how some people get when they're like collectible. And so I bought those, and so we'll probably go through them a pair at a time and just learn and enjoy that. And maybe afterwards, I was then reading through all the tournament rules, and it was talking about adaptive mode, where you play one game with each player playing one deck, then you play a second game with swapping the decks around, and then the third game you bid change to decide who gets this one deck. And that's quite an interesting way to have a match between two decks once you're good enough to understand how good things are actually.
Yeah, it balances things a little bit. True.
But yeah, that was definitely fun. How about you? What are some of your recent highlights?
Well, this weekend is the last weekend of my vacation. I had a whole week off, so that was a big highlight.
Nice.
The weather was okay. It rained sometimes, and the wind was pretty hard. But for the rest, yeah, it was a nice week to have vacation. So I got some stuff done. I got to work in my garden because now, well, the grass wasn't this tall, but there was. I think I mentioned it in one of your streams that I have a raspberry bush that has taken over the garden. Well, I have taken the garden back. It's now my garden again.
See, I would love the raspberry bush. I would leave the raspberry bush be.
Yeah, but I could not even walk like 3 feet from my own door, and then I would trip in the bush. So I had to trim it down back to.
Okay, so you've still got the bush. Spot. You've still got some raspberries.
I didn't remove it entirely. Only the parts where I thought, yeah, you shouldn't be here. I cut it all off over there, and kept it on a small spot and try to maintain it better this time because I didn't maintain it for 2 years, so you know how raspberry bushes get, they take over everything. So I did that.
To be clear, do you mean raspberries or do you mean blackberries?
Raspberries.
Okay, because in the UK, blackberry bushes are like a wild thing, and you might find them anywhere on the sides of walls in the countryside, but raspberry bushes are very rare. And last year, I actually planted a small raspberry plant, and I got 3 raspberries from it. And I was so proud and so excited because this, for me, was something I'd never seen before.
Yeah, well, raspberry bushes aren't that common. I guess the previous owner planted it someday. And yeah, I kept trimming it and maintaining it, but then the last 2 years I didn't feel like doing anything in the garden, and it took over the garden, and I had to take the garden back. So I did that, and I made it late as well yesterday of last night. I played Mario Kart with friends, and those friends live on the other side of the ocean, so for them it was past dinner time, and for me it was like 2-3 a.m.
Nice. And I want to say hello to Maya. It is lovely to see you, and thank you for joining us. Maya says, maintaining the garden. Okay, I get it. I wasn't reading this correctly when I read it earlier. So, Maya says, yes, this time for sure I'm going to maintain the garden. But Maya's just lying to,
Yeah, I do that all the time. I could have done it earlier, and I think, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow, then it rains a little bit. And then it's like, no, I cannot do it. I get wet. No. And then reschedule. But now I have to do it because I cannot.
Talking about rain, garden. I want to pick myself up. I just want to acknowledge, I don't know if you can hear the rain. Like, can you hear the dropping of the...
No.
Okay, so there's like a drain pipe literally just outside my wall, and so I can hear the drip, drip, dripping of the water coming down the drain pipe. And it was raining quite a bit. I did not want to go outside. I don't know if you know this, but every day that I've streamed this year, which is every day except for 5 days, I have had a walk before my stream, which I'm quite proud of. And so today it was raining, and I was like, I don't want to walk outside. But what I did is I kept my pajamas on, and like I put some trousers on so I could kind of go quickly outside and then come back, take those pajamas off, and now they're hanging up in the corner. You can't see them, but puts on some totally different clothes, and so I'm dry again. And I'm proud of myself just for making my way around the block. Also, another small highlight, I'm actually going to say, I've taken my address off because you can see where my address used to be. Now you can't see it. I got this box, The postman just saw me while I was walking around the block, and even though I wasn't in the house, they've seen me because one of my housemates has got lots of packages recently, and I've lived here for a few years. The post person says, "Hey, I've got a parcel for you." I said, "Great. Oh, it's actually for me. That's exciting." And I know I bought a second-hand game off someone, but I genuinely can't remember what it was. So shall I actually open it just now?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, this might be a bit loud, but well, I was expecting this to be the easy to rip tape, but nope, it's definitely not. Maybe I should have had some scissors or something sharp. I don't have any knife here, unfortunately. Oh, yes, I managed to rip it. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep this box in a state to reuse. So I am... But I like the fact that they reused the box, you know, so it's at least been reused once. And... Oh, yes, I remember. It's something by Matthew Dunstan. So there's all the paper. And it's Cosmos. It's Adventure Games, Discover the Story, The Dungeon by Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding.
Oh, nice.
So, and hello, Runa. It's lovely to see you. And I can't remember how much I bought this for, but it was a second-hand thing. And I thought, yeah, I'll buy that, I'll play through it, and then I'll pass it on. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing through that. Maybe I'll even play through it on stream if people are... Although if I do that, then maybe it's kind of too spoilerific. I don't know. What do you think about playing story games on stream?
If I am interested in the game, I won't watch, because then spoilers. If I already played it, I try to lurk as well, because I don't want to spoil the puzzles. But otherwise, I will join in and maybe try a puzzle or two.
So there's the... Oh, there's the rule book, and this is the thing that's got all the... I remember when this was... Yeah, I play tested one of these games. And, here are all the cards that do the things. The main cards, I guess. There's some locations that do things. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, I remember this. There were meeples, and then... Yeah, it felt a wee bit arbitrary, the multiplayer nature. It very much felt to me when I play tested this, like... with 3 or 4 of us sitting around a table just to show Matthew that it's actually worked. And like lots of escape room games, I think what's his name from Tabletopia would probably say that, what's his name from Tabletopia said that all these games are really best with 2 players because you want to have the ability to just chat to each other. And so...
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a nice wee... That's the bottom of the box. Now I'll put everything back in. And hello. So Maya says you can do it, and I know I can do it, and add spoiler tag, but the question wasn't just if I can. The question was how you feel about it. Runa did Journal 29 with a group on Duchess's channel. Oh yeah, that's lots of things. And hello, J Foolsguard. Hello, Rob. It is lovely to see you, and you are very welcome to lurk. And yep, that is Matthew Dunstan's and Phil Walker Harding of... I'm trying to think what games Matthew's done solo, but let's just say Elysium, which I know was the co-design, and Phil Walker Harding probably best known for Sushi Go. That was Phil Walker Harding, right?
Let me check. Sushi Go. Oh, it doesn't even have a name on it. Seriously? Yeah, Phil Walker Harding.
Cool, I remembered correctly. And Maya would watch it if Maya thinks that she can't play it with their group.
You can play them all. Well, you could.
I mean, if you have let's not make this a long stream about the nature of single player games, because I said at the start, before we started recording, I am going to try and finish. This is like the new Bez, new stream, new BEZZY Beats and Board Game BLETHER. I'm trying to keep them to an hour, these chats. And so I'm going to keep to that. I've got lots of thoughts on one-time play games. I think it would be really interesting to have that conversation, but maybe not today. Yeah, but I am 3 times 90 minutes, so there are 90 minutes per game. I'll probably play through that myself rather than on stream. And
yeah, if you do it on stream, it will take at least twice as long, I guess.
I mean, much as I like the sound of my own voice, I do prefer sometimes reading things and not having to read everything aloud, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so thank you very much, Rob. Monumental, yep, that's a good one. And Relic Runners, I was trying to remember who, was that Matthew and someone else? Yeah, Matthew's all about the collaboration, but yeah, Matthew's amazing. Well, everyone's pretty amazing anyway. And yeah, please listen to Stream Elements and follow the LDEC Twitter if you aren't already. Speaking of links, let's move on to the questionably quick questions. And I am going to ask you, what are your links?
Well, you just put them out there. So twitch.tv/DutchYoda, where I stream even now on Fridays, actually. So that needs to be updated. But I have done that just recently. Just started that the last 3 weeks or so. So I'm streaming on Fridays at 9 p.m. And that's alternating between English and Dutch, whatever I feel like doing that evening. And then, yeah, Dutch on Saturdays and English on Sundays. And the rest of me, you can find DutchYoda Plays, so Facebook, Instagram. And if you're Dutch, or at least you can read Dutch, you can check Budget Spelen, where I did a Kickstarter article last Friday. You're muted, Bess.
If anyone else has any recent highlights, if anyone else wants to share anything that they enjoyed recently, then please let us know. Otherwise, let's move on to the other questionably quick questions, which is, where are you? What time is it?
Like always, I'm in Lelystad in the Netherlands, and it's 11:21 right now, a.m.
You say like always, but it's just like always when you're doing this show.
Yeah, true. But it's
you have ventured outside of your town.
Yeah,
when was the last? Okay, actually, you know what? And for the record, it's 10:21 in the UK. But when was the last time you ventured outside of Lelystad? That's my next question.
Last Tuesday.
Wow, where did you go?
I went to Harderwijk, which is just outside of the province of Flevoland, because I needed to go to the hospital.
Oh. Wait, so you don't have a hospital in your province, or is it just because you're close to the border and so?
It's a shared hospital with one here in Lelystad and one in Harderwijk. But the practice I needed to go to was in Harderwijk, so I had to go there.
Okay. And when was the last time you went outside of Lelystad for pleasure?
For pleasure.
I can see the cogs turning, kind of trying to remember. Would this be February 2020? I don't know, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it is 2020. I think it was the end of July, beginning of August, when I went to the Lusas, to Ilka and Dave Lusa. I stayed over there for a weekend.
Oh, very fancy.
So, yeah.
And can you tell us about this trip, or is that too personal to share?
Well, if you were watching their streams, I showed up in them because I was there. So, yeah, I went there on a Friday and got back on a Monday. So it was a long weekend. We played a lot of games. They showed me around Düsseldorf. So
Nice. So you were kind of staying with them, and on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you were on the Loserpalooza stream. That sounds like so much fun.
yeah, it was really fun, and that motivated me to go streaming as well.
Ah, okay. So that's how you got into streaming. I never actually realized that.
Yeah, I did some recorded stuff already, but that motivated me really to do streaming as well.
Did you find? I mean, have you found it's a completely different energy with your own streams, though? Because I mean, obviously, Dave been doing this for quite a while. Like with This Game Is Broken and like videos and stuff. Like Dave does have a wee bit more of a following, and Dave and Ilka, having done it since the start of the lockdown, that's a very good time zone. You know, they've done well at really building up this community. And it's not going to be everyone who's able to get to that level of, you know, togetherness and communication going on in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. And the one thing that's special about it is they don't even have a Discord. Like most other channels do, they have a Discord where you can continue the discussion. We have a Facebook group, so we talk there, but they don't have a Discord. So yeah, normally you have a Discord where you talk to the community. Now they do it through Facebook, which is different, but and yeah, the energy. Yeah, Dave and Ilka, they are performers, and you can see that, and they aren't that shy in front of the camera. I had to pass that hurdle in the beginning.
You had to what?
And go over that hurdle of being shy in front of the camera.
Okay, so it was a new thing for you to get used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think having two people on camera together, like in the same room, I think you're always going to get a nicer dynamic, whether it's Dave and Ilka or when it's Ben and Kelly Lee from the Game Cupboard, or, you know, Steph and Michael, I want to say, from Rainbow.
Yeah, board game Steph. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, if anyone had any questionably quick questions, you need to get it in the next 30 seconds. And let's talk about a brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Yoda, do you have a brilliant thing to share with us?
Well, Mother's Day has already happened in the UK, right?
Has it? Shoot.
I don't know.
Let me double check.
I understand there are some countries that celebrate Mother's Day on a different day than they do over here. But I wanted to say that mothers are brilliant because tomorrow is Mother's Day. So I thought that would be adequate to use it for today.
Apparently, Mother's Day in the UK is tomorrow.
It's still tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Wait. No. 14th of March. No, it was 14th of March. Why? What did I do? Oh, yes. No, wait. I'm trying to distinguish between Mother's Day and my mum's birthday because my mom... I can't remember what happened. Oh my gosh. I hope you know what? Oh, okay. This falls on 9th May with almost 100 countries, including most of Europe, Africa, and South America. Following
the second Sunday of May.
Okay, so you know what? If you want to cherish your mother, you don't need to wait for Mother's Day to be in the correct country.
True.
You can just like ring your mom and say, "Hey, I heard it was Mother's Day tomorrow in some place," and why even wait for tomorrow? If you want to, if you want to make a grand gesture, then sure you can wait until the day if you want. But yeah, just ring your mom because moms are brilliant. I will agree because moms are caring.
I speak to my mother almost daily.
Yeah, I don't speak to my mum very much. I have to admit, so I've not spoken to my mum or dad on the phone very much at all since I got back to London. So I will give them a phone call today. I will do that.
Good point.
And I will tell them how much I value them, not just because of the time of gestation, although, you know, that's clearly a thing, you know,
Yeah.
labor and all that, but yeah, also because of just the caring, because, you know, I am privileged because, you know, there are some families, and if you have some parental relationships that aren't great, but thankfully I do come from a loving family. So again, I am very privileged in that way. I'm very fortunate. So yeah,
me
I
too.
should really chat to my parents a bit more.
Yeah, me too. Well, not more, because I talk to them almost daily. So even my father. So
And Croatia is apparently part of this, and Maya's daughters will not have problems with that Mother's Day because it's always around Maya's birthday. There you go.
Ooh, well, so no double presents or anything, just one. Sounds kind of cheap.
Okay, so whilst I stand up and turn around, I want to remind everyone that if you want to comment, ask questions, thumb like, follow, feel free to do that. Otherwise, we are now getting into the main topic, and I'm going to let DutchYoda, also known as Netherlander Yoda, if you're me and you want to get everyone to start saying Netherlanders rather than Dutch people. And because I've decided that the English word Dutch is a bit silly, but hey ho. So, Yoda, what would you
Yes.
like to chat about?
Oh, I started on my Kickstarter page, and I was expecting a totally different backend on how to do that, so I had to adjust. It's not done yet. I have to finish some text that I have to triple check, because my grammar or my punctuation might be a little bit off, and I have to check that first. And then I hopefully by the end of next week, the preview page should be ready. Tomorrow I'm gonna record my videos for the Kickstarter page. I'm gonna finish my images for it. And then it's when am I going live? I have no idea yet. I might go live immediately when I think it's done, but maybe better prepare for it and at least put the word out there so people know that it's coming, even though it's a small Kickstarter with a small goal and a low pledge level, but still.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the goals and ambitions and marketing that you're planning for this at all?
Well, mostly the marketing kind, because the goals I have already put in my mind. I haven't determined the real stretch goal levels yet. So there's that. Thank you for the offer, Rob, but it's going to be a stretch goal, because let me drive.
So we got a quote from Rachel Mortimer.
Yeah, I forgot her name. Yeah, and she's gonna do the proofread if I reach a certain stretch goal. Trying to do my best.
I had a quick read through with the best stats I can do myself, and you know, my English isn't as good as Rachel Mortimer's. Rachel Mortimer is just amazing, but I am proud of, you know, I think that I'm pretty good at it, and yeah, but yeah, anyway, and Rob says, you've got a professional. So awesome.
Yeah.
I really don't think that should be a stretch goal, though.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, so we're doing a massively humble thing. Do you want to talk about how much is going to cost? So it's going to be what we're going to say, like, how much for a pledge? Have you decided yet?
I was thinking just €2, not that much. Because it's just a couple of sheets. So
€2, and someone gets that print and play.
I did see a print and play that was like $40. I was like, seriously, for print and play?
Like, yeah, I wouldn't pay $40 if I had to then print and assemble the stuff myself. That seems a lot. But having said that, like, I can sort of understand if like you're paying for labor and the work involved, and I know like the 3D printing files, sometimes I think I paid like 15 quid or something for the Turing tumble thing, which I was then thinking, I think it was like, oh, it's only a tenner, and then maybe I'll get someone to 3D print it out for me, because that will still be a lot cheaper than buying the full thing and having it shipped out. So when you talk about this as a stretch goal, Rob says, I understand that it costs money, but the rules are probably the most important thing. But what is going to be the goal of the Kickstarter, and what is going to be the stretch goal? Because this is the thing, like, if you get you can always spend more money, and I get where you're coming from, Rob. You want to do the best job you can, but you don't always have the money to proofread everything. And I have had a look at it. The rules are written well enough that I was like, okay, I can't see any more mistakes. And so it's not like they have to be
yeah,
like
I'm
there's something
only
wrong
going
with
to
them.
add some examples from every action that you can take, just to show you how it works.
Have you got an idea of the numbers, or are you still kind of working that out? Because obviously this is public, so. But you don't have to commit to a thing. You can give a vague ballpark if you want.
What numbers are we talking about right now? The
Like
goal,
what number for the funding goal and what number for the stretch goal for proofreading?
Funding goal, I currently set it for 20 euros. It's like, then I need just 10 people and I'm funded. That should be easy enough. Actually, we joked it on my last stream, my stream yesterday, my Dutch stream, that my company did a merger, so we went from 40 employees to 1,500, and said, well, if everybody buys the game, that would be nice.
Oh, okay. You're as in okay, not the DutchYoda Plays company, which is still just you. Your actual company that you,
next company where I normally work for. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's 1,500 people right now. So if everybody buys the game, and just put it in the local office chat and said, well, I put down this Kickstarter. If you want, you can support me.
So are you going to be like spamming your thing? Like, and then what are you? So that's like 20 euros for just funding, which seems perfectly reasonable. And you can say, okay, at this level, I'm just giving out the game. And then at what level are you actually going to proofread it? Or not you proofread it, me proofread it, but get Rachel to proofread it?
I haven't decided at what level yet. First, I'm going to do a couple of extra maps that I talked with you about before we started. And
I mean, I guess this is a question of which should come first, like the extra maps or the proofreading.
Yeah, I think the rules are clear enough. They could be improved maybe slightly. So, yeah, I haven't set any levels yet. And which comes first. You're right about that. And I haven't given it that much thought yet, actually.
I mean, one way to do it would be to think, okay, how much is going to be charged? And with the print and play, you are basically still getting 90% of what each person pledges. So from every €2 pledge, you will get 180, because, Kickstarter and credit card fees can be as much as 10%.
Yeah.
And I know they say a lower number, but I think it's good to, in my experience, assume 10%, just Also, it makes the maths easier.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But
So yeah, I have to recalculate everything because the
you forgot about the 10% fees.
no, not that, because the estimation that Rachel did was in pounds, so I have to convert that to euros, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm gonna mix every number wrong.
Nowadays, pounds, euros are close enough.
Yeah, Brexit didn't help.
Yeah. Let's
Let's not talk about that.
okay. So you don't want, so you've got to get this all together. You've got to plan a numbers thing. If you want to get,
Yeah,
I understand you might not want to show all this publicly just yet, but if you want to send it to me, like I can have a very quick look or go over it even like straight after this stream with you if you fancy. But yeah, what else would you like to chat about? So are you clear on your direction going forwards? Are you clear on what you've got to do to finish it? To make it something you're happy to first submit to Kickstarter to say, hey, this is a legit thing, it's not a scam. And then once they're like, yeah, it looks like not a scam, you can do this. And then after that, to make it even better so that people will be enticed to actually pledge.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything, the images and recording, and that's going to be done this weekend. Then I'm going to put it all together. So hopefully before Thursday, I can have a final version to show off for the first time. So that basically has content, because now it's pretty much empty. And yeah, that's then I don't know how long it takes for Kickstarter to come back to me and say, okay, you can do this. So that's the big wait.
Few days.
Just a few days. Okay, that's cool. So meanwhile, I'm gonna work on my BGG pages, my own designer page and the game page. I uploaded an image yesterday to use as a cover image, even though it's a print play. So we're waiting for that image to be approved, so I can say, well, that's the main image for the game, and maybe take some screenshots that I'm also going to use during the Kickstarter.
Well, that sounds, and I guess you could have all sorts of images of the final game, once you've actually drawn stuff on it, and just to show, oh yeah, this is what it looks like when you finished. And yeah, I don't know how much just having, there's definitely yeah, a reduced impact of each additional image. I can't remember what's that word called. You know what I mean? Like, if you have 0 images, that doesn't look good at all. And I say this as someone who has at least one game on Board Game Geek that has 0 images, which isn't good at all. And I need to actually maybe, yeah, if I'm not doing it, ask Chris to take some photos of all the games but like once you have, let's say, 5 images, having a 6th image, doesn't really mean anything unless it's adding some.
I was actually thinking along, max 5 images. So
yeah, especially when you don't have that many components. All you've got is the sheets, and a sheet, a kind of back of the cards, a bunch of the cards laid out. Yeah, I'm sure you've got enough creativity to think of like diminishing returns. Thank you, Rob. That's the word. That's the phrase I was looking for. Thank you, Rob. Oh man, yes. Thank you. Anyway, so is there anything actually that you would like to ask me, or?
Well, you already offered to look at the preview page when it's done, so I don't have to ask that. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I think I'm almost set. Just finish it and when it starts, it's gonna happen, and I'm enthusiastic, scared. So scared, but in a good way. Like, okay, excited and scared at the same time. So a little bit nervous on how it's gonna go, because I have seen also bad stuff happen on Kickstarter.
Does your fear turn you into someone who might sabotage yourself, or does your fear ever
No.
lead you to freezing up, if you know what I mean? Or are you still going to do it? I know sometimes I just freeze up.
I have the tendency to freeze up, but just take a deep breath and then continue. So it's at some point, I must admit, it's out of my control. So when stuff happens, it happens, and I have to just be clear, transparent, be honest. And if people are mean to me, well, we'll see. You have those people, but it's a print and play. The delivery time after that is almost immediate. I have to play test probably some stretch goals, and when those are done, I can just mail you a link to get to the files, and you can go and play.
What do you mean
So
you have to play test the stretch goals? Because if you're talking about the additional maps, I thought that you were going to give out the first map straight away and then your later maps.
Yeah,
on the subsequent
that one. I mean,
months.
it will be split, but you don't have everything immediately. You can play the first map and maybe a second map if that's already done, but we'll see. I'm gonna divide
Remember,
that.
it takes 2 weeks for all the funds to clear. So some people, if they've not, you should probably wait 2 weeks and then say, hey, okay, now it's official, because some people, if they use the credit card, that something's wrong with it or it doesn't have funds, then it bounces. And hopefully with £2, that's not going to be an issue. I say £2, but obviously we said it's €2.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, but you never know.
Yeah, I've had, a couple of people who were very close to me who said, hey, this is bounce. Can I just give you some money? I just want to give you some money. And I feel, no, I don't want you to just give me money as a charity case. Like after the Kickstarter, that like they just wanted to hand me some money and not even get anything. And that felt really weird to me.
Yeah.
But it is a thing. Like people for sure have occasionally, and I think that this might be true for, lower budget games, where people have occasionally thought, you know what, I'm going to pay Bez £15 or even £20 rather than the £12 that Bez is asking for. And I'm like, wow, so this is just a donation. And it's like, but it's still, I don't know, maybe I need to be less uncomfortable, but like, I'm not saying that will happen, but certainly it happened for me, I think, with subsequent Kickstarters. Once people are, oh yeah, Bez is, maybe it's a case of saying thank you for the previous things. I really don't know. And sometimes if you ask too much about it, it can feel like you're not grateful, or like if you say, hey, it's like, oh, you enjoyed my joke. Well, what exactly did you like about it? What? Anyway, so I should not be making this about me. Sorry, let's go back to you.
Well, I understand what you say. Things, I'm not even worried if it's going to fund or not. If it doesn't, okay, then only at least a maximum 9 people backed it. So we'll see. So I'm not. It's more those responses that you get from, why am I not hearing anything? Where's my game? I don't like this. You should do that. Like they own the product. Instead of, well, I make the product and then you definitely will get it and then you own it and then you can do with it what you want. But if I design it, it's my design, not your design, and stuff like that. I've seen some bad behavior on Kickstarter, and I hope that doesn't happen.
I think that with the amount that you're charging and with the very humble goals and with the fact that you're not going to be, shit. I think that the bad behavior is when he gets into the scythes, and that kind of turns Jamie Stegmaier away from Kickstarter quite a bit, because I think Jamie Stegmaier this is just a hypothesis. I think Jamie Stegmaier is very emotionally affected by all of this bit of negativity. I mean, like, I've been very fortunate in that I've come into it, I've not presented amazing final artwork, and so the people coming in aren't backing it to work. Whoa, this game looks amazing. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't what, and then just kind of backing it blindly because the graphics look cool or because of some hook or some line that's not exactly what the game is, if you know what I mean. That they can say, hey, wait a minute, this isn't exactly, but when it's, hey, I'm showing you this, and it's not, I mean, with the art that I've shown in the past, it's not like it kind of, I'm not going to say it's bad art. Like with Kitty Cataclysm, it was actually bad art. It wasn't the final artwork, it was art that's had done quickly. And wow, sorry, I'm laughing. So firstly, just to acknowledge the comments. Apparently, Rob just got the post delivered by a fellow game designer who is temping as a postie. Wow, that is interesting. Are we going to name drop, or is it going to be that? But that is interesting. And Maya talking about money. Yes, sometimes I do a $1 pledge or a £1 pledge just to support the person, because I feel like, yeah, that's something I can do. I'm not going to do that for every single Kickstarter. That's like, yeah, I support that person. Like, just because I know you doesn't mean that I'm going to even back your thing for $1, because if I did that with everyone that I cared about, that would quickly become very expensive.
True.
And but yeah, anyway. Oh, apparently Joseph Norris, designer of Knight's Lancer. Oh, that sounds quite cool.
Never heard of Joseph or Night Lancer.
But that is quite cool. Anyway, Yoda, do you have anything that you want to chat about? Because it feels like you're in this kind of state of not quite purgatory, but you're waiting to ascend to the next plane, and
I have to
figuratively
finish,
speaking.
I have to finish some stuff and then put it all together and then send it to Kickstarter and hopefully get a positive feedback. So that's my goal for this week, to at least by Thursday have everything set up and ready for them. So yeah, there's that. And meanwhile, I'm going to pick up another design, my first design that I never finished. I'm going to pick that up because Eduardo Barra from Pencil First Games is doing a design contest, and I'm going to enter that with that design, and it's a 2-player combat game.
So do you want to chat about that quickly for 5-10 minutes, or get any brainstorm? Or
well, it's a programming game based with a send timer, so you have to do your programming within a couple of minutes, and then it works a little bit like Robo Rally. One by one, you flip over your cards and determining on the value on the cards who is going to be first or not, and then you try to beat the other opponent. And it simulates button bashing on a game on a controller, and then you try to beat the other player by rapidly playing your cards and hopefully do it in a correct order that it works.
So it's kind of themed around old school 2D beat 'em ups video games.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a nice hook because I've seen a couple of games. I saw actually 2 different pitches. When I was working for Alicat Games that did a really nice job of one of them was really nice with dice, and then you're quickly assembling these dice and saying, okay, hey, that's an uppercut and whatever. But no, I think that I don't know of it's there's definitely a wave of nostalgia. I think there's definitely a bunch of people that could get into that if it recreates that feel, if it recreates that experience, if it kind of is evocative of it. I think that's what's going to be the main challenge there. Are you feeling good about stuff?
Yeah, I've already play tested it, and it works nicely. But there are some tweaks and new ideas I got, so I'm gonna work on those. There's a sort of a revenge meter, so that's the catch-up mechanism. That if you hit a person to a certain point, they will get new cards added to their deck, which makes some moves stronger. So it's still luck based because you have to draw those cards to use them. But normally you have to do a little combo and then you get the special effect. But now that's just one card, so you can do it sooner and maybe more.
Nice. I mean, it's definitely that's something that I've seen in some 2D beat 'em ups. I can't remember which one, but there's at least one where it had that catch-up mechanism where each time you get hit, each time you even successfully block, I think it might have been that you build up this meter, and then this meter allows, if it's totally full, you get to do these ridiculous superpowers, and if it's halfway through, then you get to do a slightly less ridiculous superpower.
Yeah,
but it's still pretty cool. And I assume that's what's inspired you there. That's what you're
that definitely inspired me to do that.
Okay, well, it seems like hopefully you're in a good state. It doesn't feel like it feels like right now you're hopefully in a good state, and I hope that you've got a clear idea of how you're going to carry on.
Yeah, I even made a schedule for the rest of this weekend when I'm going to do what, just to make sure that I don't, because I still want to do my streams, so I have to do that as well. So everything we'll be doing, I will be working on it this afternoon, and tomorrow need to get up a little bit early and make sure that I can do everything as well. So I have everything planned with a little bit briefing room.
Maybe it's worth us finishing up at this point. I did say that I was going to try and finish around 11, and recap takes more than 4 minutes. But you can then have a bit more time to get back to writing your Kickstarter if you have the energy or whatever. So today we chatted about, I guess, Keyforge and playing video games online, and I managed to walk around and got Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding's adventure games game. We talked about Kickstarters, about proofreading, very briefly about stuff, and it sounds like ultimately, Yoda, you're in a state where you've not got a lot of stuff to show, but things have been progressing in a positive direction for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So well done, you. I know that you said that there's a bit of fear in you, so hopefully, don't freeze up. You can do it. I believe in you. Hopefully the humble goal, kind of makes it a bit less scary, because 10 people really isn't a lot. I mean, hopefully we can get that, given that it's €2 per person for a reasonably nice print and play. If you wish to check me out, then I am stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcards.com, twitter.com/stuffbez, instagram.com/stuffbez, twitch.tv/stuffbybez, where I'm streaming at 10 a.m. UK time every day for the next 33 days. youtube.com/stuffbez has the old episodes, and stuffbybez.com/discord if you want to go there. And let me copy paste your links one more time, where you are around the places as DutchYoda plays.
Yeah.
Is there any? So I want to say thank you very much to everyone. Like, it's been quite enjoyable seeing your progress. So thank you, Yoda, for being my guinea pig for this mentorship, and thank you
for letting me be one.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone in chat. You've been super lovely. And now it's the time that I ask you all over to what are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. So whether it's something you're looking forward to, like a hope, an ambition, or maybe it's something that you don't want to do, but you feel like telling it to people will make you more likely to do it. Or if you don't want to share because then you'll feel bad about not having done it, that's also okay. Or whether it's like a meal that you're looking forward to, or it can be, talking of meals, I went in to buy some ice cream for myself and Layla yesterday, and then there was also some reduced price pineapple. So we had ice cream and pineapple. And while I was there, what I also found was some reduced price like stir fry stuff. It's normally like £2, and now it was like just 30 pence because it was towards the end of the day, which was great. And so I bought 2 packs of that. So I'm going to have that with noodles, stir fried, and there's even some prawns, and we've got some chili oil. That's what I'm having for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like all in one big bowl. I'm going to have like all 3 meals at once. And I'm going to probably have a nap.
Probably.
Yeah. So what is everyone else up to?
Well, I already mentioned what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on my Kickstarter. I have to drop my son off at my ex's. So he was with me for 2 weeks, and now he's going back to my ex-wife. So yeah, he's going to spend his time there, and after that, I have all the time to myself, on which I'm going to do my Kickstarter, my streams, and all the other stuff I should be doing this weekend.
That sounds like lots of fun. And Rob suggests that I might be having BLETHER, which I get this, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. So it's like, but now I'm thinking, you want to have the start of breakfast, the middle of lunch, and the end of dinner. So I think it should be brunner. So breakfast and lunch is brunch. Lunch and dinner is lunner. But I think all 3 together should be brunner. That's what I've decided. That breakfast, lunch, dinner sounds like something I need to try. But Maya is actually playtesting Cloud Shifters version 1 million. Not literally 1 million. But...
Let me know if you need playtesters for 1,000,001.
I'm very set on this. I think it should be brunner. I'm going to type it up because brunner allows you to have the middle of lunch, because if you're a bruncher, that sounds like a better word, but brunner, it's the middle of lunch. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get it.
No. Go with this. Wait, so let me move myself so I can point correctly. Go with this. No. Anyway, so J Fool's Guard is extending their mum's dog's yard area. Okay, cool. So I guess like moving fences around, that sounds cool. Rob says good luck with the Kickstarter, Yoda.
Thank you.
And if no one else has anything else to share, like if you do, please, you've got like a minute to chuck it in. If you want to check out my future streams, look at this link, stuffbybezz.com/streams. That will take you to my Google Calendar, which you'll probably need now that I am doing 11 streams in the next week, or next week, as in from Monday to Sunday next week, I'm doing 12 streams. Just that I'm not. So I'm going to do 10 a.m. every day. I'm going to do 4 p.m. UK time on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I'm going to do 8 p.m. on the evening. So what I'm going to try to do is to make all of these approximately 1 hour, and tomorrow Sundays might be a bit longer because I'm actually playing something. I'm going to play Root digitally, then discussing publishing with Uli. I'm going to be honest, that'll last longer. And musical shenanigans, that will last 1 hour. And then I'll be playing some stuff, maybe testing Dinosaurs Love Spicy Pies on Tuesday. And anyway, the conversations are things like making games together, some more musical shenanigans, some friendly chats, and next week we're discussing diversity in media making with Antoinette and Matt, Warwick, and Yoda. And yeah, then 4 p.m. is the playful shenanigans. It's all in the calendar. Hopefully it'll all make sense. But share, spread the word. Is there anything else that you want to say at this point before we say goodbye?
I want to wish everybody a nice weekend.
I mean, maybe if you're, I know everyone now actually watching that's said hello is based in Europe. So yes, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday. And if you're watching this in the future, or if you're lurking and you're based in Australia, if you're an Australian friend, then I hope you have a lovely Sunday and sleep well. But for all of you peeps, and I'm actually just trying to, let's go for Nail Queen. Let's see what's, or, yep, there's no board gamey people. There's no, let's check out what Nail is going on with Nail Queen. And that is who I am going to read. If you are watching live on Twitch, then please use that, copy paste that. Hello Joanne, it's lovely to see you. And Joanne is going to do some songwriting today. I hope you have a wonderful day with your songwriting. And that is the end of the show. That is time to go. And I hope you have a wonderful day and maybe even get a chance to play. So that's it. Are you ready to say bye-bye?
I'm ready to say bye-bye.
Well, bye-bye, bye-bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. This is the end of the show. Bye-bye, bye-bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye-bye, bye-bye. This is the end of the show. Bye-bye, bye-bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, Joanne. Thank you for popping in. And bye-bye, Keys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, bye-bye, Yoda. I'm not going to say thank you for it. It's Brunner. It's Brunner. That's the final word. Bye-bye, Jay Foolsguard. Bye-bye, Rob. Bye-bye, Maya. Bye-bye, everyone. Lovely to have you. Have a wonderful day. And, yeah, it's just been lovely. And, yeah, all the best with everything you're doing, whatever you do. I hope that peace and energy and happiness reigns with you. No. Maya. breakfast on. With that, I guess if you were having it in the middle of the night, that could make sense. Din fast. Then it's yeah. Anyway. Bye bye.